Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Imagine being stripped of modern possessions, of comfort, contact with other people, and dropped in the remote wilds of Western Tasmania, completely isolated from the world. Our next guest is one of the brave or crazy people who are doing this on a new series, Alone Australia. Alone is an extraordinary series, and I've watched them filming various ones overseas. The things that these people go through are extraordinary. Now, this contestant is a wildlife biologist with a military career with the Australian Navy. She got a PhD, which has made her Dr Kate. Kate, hello.
G'day, how are you?
Great. I like saying Dr. Kate, though. That sounds
Dr.
good.
Kate. This is an extraordinary series, Kate, because it's not like Bear Grylls where everyone makes jokes that he's climbing a mountain, but the camera crew have had to climb above him.
And then he
Because
drinks his own urine.
Well, and everyone else's. Because you're your own camera crew. You set up your own cameras and you are actually alone, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a pretty crazy series.
The ones I've seen overseas, a lot of the people who do well in this are people that are a little bit crazy, that live off the grid. You don't seem to be that kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a little bit crazy to do something like this, but, you know, I guess maybe hopefully people can see me and, you know, see a little bit of themselves in that and think, yeah, maybe I could do that.
Well, the ones I've seen, there's a woman in the episode I saw that, well, I think she was in northern Canada, and it was frozen, and everyone's trying to catch squirrels and rabbits and tiny bits of lichen to eat. She found a porcupine or a wolverine, cut it open, and half of its innards were poisoned, and she was at desperate states, had to work out which of the poisoned things she could risk eating. What kinds of, and people who have to cut holes in the snow and the ice to fish, what were the hardships that you had in Tasmania?
Look, you know, the name of the series gives it away, Alone. We're pack animals, and, you know, there's only so long you can sit out there on your own, you know, if you have a love for people, and I found that very hard. I always knew it was going to be hard. It's an incredible experience. But also I'd say to that, like, you know, when in our lives we get that moment to step outside of it and turn off the phone notifications, stop going to work and sit there and ponder your life and think, am I living the way I want to live my life? And that is incredibly powerful.
Well, I think it'd be amazing where you've set up, you're by yourself, and you've got to set up all the cameras around you and then just film yourself doing stuff.
Yeah, and also the stuff you have to film yourself doing is killing animals to eat them. I mean, what did you eat?
Well, yeah, that's a really good question, and I think you know, I guess people's strategy is different. I'm a wildlife biologist, and I think going into this, I said to myself, I'm not going to be in a rush to kill our native animals, and so that certainly made my strategy, I guess, a little bit more difficult. But look, you know, obviously they had to be careful. We've got a lot of beautiful threatened species in Australia to make sure we weren't, you know, doing any damage to the environment. So there certainly were restrictions. So I think this series will actually be a very difficult series, even though there's no, you know, polar bears and brown bears coming to eat us in the night. Simply food procurement is quite difficult in Western Tasmania.
Imagine if you came across a thylacine and they're extinct and then you were starving to death. You were so hungry, Kate, and then this thylacine came along and it was looking a little bit weak and you thought, oh, you know what, it's turning into a giant steak and you're thinking, I could eat that. No one's going to know.
And you know you're in Tassie and there's some nice brie up the road.
The discovery of a thylacine would be enough of, like, you know, fame and fortune, I think, to warrant not eating him.
Well, you're going to give us great entertainment, 7:30 tonight on SBS and SBS On Demand. I spent some time in the Tasmanian wilderness at Cradle Mountain, but they've got their great track, and you just walk around the track. It's really easy, so you should have looked for that, Kate.
Yeah,
Or go to Salamanca markets.
Yeah, go to Salamanca markets and buy one of those little doily things. They're always good. Dr. Kate, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.